Hi, hello. I am Professor Wagmudi. We are working as assistant professor in agronomy department. Today we will discuss the topic on growth and development, its definition, then growth curve and factors affecting growth and development. First of all, we can see the concept of growth or definition of growth as a increase in the size of living organism or the plant, especially is called as the commonly called as growth. Then many physiological process plays an important role during the growth of the plants, and it increases the seed germination, or it germinates the seeds and develop the into the seedlings, and later it assumes that the shape of the an adult plant. The plant shows the indefinite and diffuse growth, while animals shows fixed and uniform growth. The growth means actually maybe the defined as the irreversible permanent increase in size, volume, or the mass of cell or organ or whole organism, accompanied by an increase in dry weight. This is the concept or definition of growth. As this is the irreversible permanent process with increase in size, volume, or mass or cell or organism or whole organism, accompanied by increase or convert into the dry weight. Then growth is also defined as the irreversible quantitative increase in the size, mass, and or volume of a plant or its part. This is called as growth, or it is a general or combined effect of cell division and the cell enlargement. It is concept or definition of growth. Next one, you can see the plant development is the overall term which refer the various changes that occurs in the plant during its life cycle. That is called as plant development. The development consists of both growth and differentiation involving qualitative and the quantitative changes. That is called as the plant development. But in case of the growth, that is the irreversible change in the size, volume, or mass of the plant. But in case of plant development, the overall various changes, that is the qualitative and quantitative changes, occurs with consist of both growth and differentiation. That is called as plant development. Next one, the growth curve. The growth curve, it is a S-shaped curve obtained when we plot growth against the time. That is called as the sigmoid curve. Growth curve is also called as sigmoid curve. This is a S-shaped curve, especially obtained when we plot growth against time. Then this curve shows, you can see here, shows the different phases, that is lag phase, log phase, steady phase, the stationary phase, and the senescence or the death phase. Also the lag log or maturity or stationary the senescence phase. This is a S shape or the sigmoid shape curve of the plant growth curve. That is the first step, that is in case of lag phase. This is the initial slow growth, so called as the slow growth phase. And the second one, this is the log phase. This is the rapid growth period of growth, and this is a grand period of growth, the exponential phase, where the maximum growth is seen in a short period. The diminishing stage or the phase or the steady phase, where the growth will be slow, and the last one, stationary or steady, where the finally growth stops, that is maturity phase. You can see in case of the lag phase, there is a sowing to germination process is takes place. In case of log phase, there is the vegetative phase, that is from seedling to stem elongation or branching, or the vegetative phase will be occur. And in case of this steady, and this is a reproductive phase where the flowering or fruiting takes place, and after steady there will be start the maturity, that is stationary or the diminishing phase or senescence phase, where the maturity or the crop will be ready for harvest. This is the growth curve and their phases of the growth curve. Next one, the factors affecting plant growth and development. That is first one, external factors. In that is first temperature. Temperature is one of the most important environment factor that will affect the growth of the plant. And however, the minimum, optimum, maximum limits of the temperature for growth varies from species to species or the crop to crop, and there will be the optimum temperature is usually no higher than the 10 degrees Celsius. The optimum temperature for most of the tropical crops varies from 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, and the temperate it will be varies from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Then light is another important factor that variously affects the growth and development of all the plants. Especially light intensity, quality of the light, and duration of light affects the growth through the several ways. It greatly influences several important physiological processes like chlorophyll synthesis, the stomata movement in photosynthesis, then formation of anthocyanin, temperature of the aerial organs, absorption of minerals, then permeability and the rate of transpiration, the streaming of the protoplasm are kindly or mostly depends on the light factor. We can see the first one, the intensity of light. The intensity of light greatly influences the plant growth. That is, variations in the intensity of sunlight are always very invariably associated with the changes in the quality of light. As under natural conditions, variations in light intensity have more significant effect upon the growth pattern of the plant than the changes in the quality of light. The most of the crops and the ornamental plants have, for instance, for example, wheat, corn, peas, tobacco, may vigorous and stocky growth and flower profusely with full sun. Such plants are called as sun plants. And then, in case of quality of light, the different wavelengths of the sunlight have the significant effect upon the growth of plants. The most of the experiment conducted in the directions indicate that overall development of a plant and increase in its diet takes place when effectively in the full spectrum of visible light. Where plants grown in the blue and violet light tends to be dark, and those in the red light tall and spindly. The ultraviolet and infrared radiations of the sunlight do not promote the growth. These are the harmful radiations. Then duration of light, duration or intensity and the quality of light have marked influence on the rate of photosynthesis and hence the rate of growth. Then during winters, when days are short, plants grow slowly, and days get longer towards the spring. Growth is accelerated or the during longer period or fast. Next one, the oxygen, third point, that is oxygen. With the expectations of those plants which are native to marshy or the boggy terrains, the growth of all terrestrial plants is greatly retarded in poorly aerated soils. Usually, the shoots of the plant receives an ample supply of the oxygen, but roots may not get sufficient oxygen to grow and functions normally. Then next factor, that is water. Water is the most essential requirement for growth of the plant, and with an inadequate supply of water, growth is poor and yield also the low. Then plants grow well when ample but not excessive moisture is available. For most of the plants, in soil water content in the capacity to just above the wilting percentage is most favorable for good growth. The next point factor, that is soil nutrient. There is quantity and nature of the soil nutrient have marked influence on the growth and development of the plant. And for luxuriant growth of the any crop, field should be adequately rich in the nutrient, that is both micro and macro nutrients. Furthermore, these nutrients do not affect the growth as such, but only when present in the form of iron or as in constituent of molecules. These are the external factors. Second one, that is internal factors. In case of internal factor, that is first one, growth regulators. As several classes of growth regulators are known, while some of growth regulator are growth promoting, that is example auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, and then other growth inhibitors, that is abscisic acid, ethylene, in chlorocholine chloride, that is CCC, and many of them are synthesized by plants when few of them are synthetic. Then second one, that is CN ratio, that is carbon nitrogen ratio. The ratio of carbohydrate and the nitrogenous compound governs the pattern of the growth, as the presence of more carbohydrate compared to nitrogen compounds favors the good vegetative growth, flowering and the fruiting. On the contrary, the presence of more nitrogenous compound compared to the carbohydrates result in poor vegetative growth, flowering and fruiting. As the CN ratio is the especially the carbon is more, then it will affect the it will be favorable, especially for growth, flowering and fruiting. And if the carbon level is low over the nitrogen, it will be poor the growth, flowering and fruiting. The third one, genotypes and genetic factor. As all metabolic activities, growth and development are under the control of genetic complement, that is genotype, nuclear as well as extranuclear of the cell. The expressions of the appropriate genes in an appropriate sequence is controlled by the genes and the environment. The genes located in the chromosomes transcribe information or transfer the information to mRNA, in which translate it into the structural and the enzymic proteins. These are the three important internal factors which are responsible for growth and development. This is today's topic about the growth, then its definition of the growth and the development definition, and the growth curve, and then types of the or phases of the growth curve and factors affecting growth and development. Thank you.